Hey guys, Failurizer here. I'm just gonna show you guys what you need to make the controller. Or first, maybe I should just show you what you're actually doing to your controller. So, alright, let me make sure this is in the camera. So, you see this is my controller, this is the right trigger right here, and then this is the left trigger. And you can't, like, really see it, but that one, if you look at that one for a sec, and then you look at that, gosh darn it, if you look at that one is extending out farther, and when you push it down, this left trigger, gosh darn it, my big thumb, okay, wait up. So, when you push this one down, it goes all the way in, flush with the rest of the controller. When you push the right trigger down, it only goes, like, barely any, right? So obviously you can shoot that a lot faster, and, yeah, it's basically a hair trigger and trigger stops, and you guys can see there's nothing on the outside of the controller. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that. And the first step, you need to gather your tools. So first thing, you get your sexy pink scissors. Then you need like an X-Acto knife, or just a knife in general, so just something like this. Tweezers, you don't really need them. They're kind of helpful, but you could do without them. And then you need a I've read everywhere online that it's T8 screwdriver that you need, but my bit says T9. I'm gonna see, maybe it'll focus. I'm recording this with my potato iPhone, so I'm not really sure. Okay, it's not gonna work. Anyway, this says T9, but it's what fits. This is like the only expensive part that you might actually have to spend money on, is this screwdriver. So if you're like a college student or something, maybe you could just, I don't know, like go to a engineering classrooms or something, I don't know, and maybe they'll have them there, or like a tech center at your college. And then if you're not in college, you might just be out of luck and you need to spend a couple bucks. I'll put some links in the description to where you can get those. And then you're gonna need some Q-tips. I'd say 2 or 3, but they come in like boxes of like 500, so whatever, however many you want. And then you're gonna need some glue, and I'm gonna say Elmer's glue, just because if you want to undo it, it's really easy. So just normal 5th grade Elmer's glue. And if you guys are wondering what the boxes are here, I'm recording this with my phone, and I have my phone stacked up on a bunch of boxes. So I was like, I'm trying to make sure everything stays in the frame, and I'm sorry my hand keeps like flying into the picture. But okay, so I'm not gonna put video on how to actually take apart the controller. I think that's something that you guys can sort of figure out on your own. And I'll put links in the description also to videos of how to take it apart, and I'll try to find one of how to put it back together. But obviously putting it back together is just taking it apart in reverse, so that shouldn't be too hard for you guys. And yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm back, and I took apart my controller. Just took it apart, and one thing I did do is, most guides are gonna tell you to pull off these the analogs. I'm gonna say leave them on, because when you're gonna try to balance it later so it can dry, it's just easier with them on. So I mean, you can take them off, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so these are the triggers. This is the right trigger that I've already modified. Gosh, it's not focusing. I'll try to get some higher quality close-ups, but you can sort of see that there's three Q-tips sort of stacked up, and those are blocking it from going down all the way. And then there's one like 3rd Q-tip right there. Gosh, you guys really cannot see that. There, that's a pretty good angle. And it's stuck under, and I'll try to describe this more on the other side. But that's what's preventing it from going, like the trigger from going up all the way. So this is what makes it a hair trigger, is this little thing. And then these 3 that are stacked up down here are what make it they're essentially your trigger stop. So this is what it looks like, and you can just pull them out if you ever want to get rid of them, because it's just Elmer's glue. This is the other side, not modified at all. So you can see there's just a big cavity right there. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So what we're going to be doing is preventing it from going all the way down. We're going to be stopping it about right there. And then we're also going to prevent it from going up, so we're going to be stopping it like there, basically. So it'll have a really limited range. And so yeah, I'm gonna just sort of get started here. The first thing you're gonna want to do is just, for preventing it from going up, basically you want a really small, oh boy, I just flew that right out. But you want a smaller piece, like not. So I'm gonna take a Q-tip and I'm gonna cut it with my beautiful scissors. Just like cut off the end because you're not gonna be needing that. Oh boy, that just bounced off my computer screen. Anyway, and then you're gonna cut off like maybe an inch of like Q-tip stem. I don't even know, like half an inch maybe. And then you want to whittle it down because we're doing the top part. And I tried this with a full Q-tip, and it you're gonna spawn in if you're playing Call of Duty. You're gonna spawn in shooting, and that's just not gonna work out very well for you. You can't sprint. Obviously, it's not gonna work out well. I don't think I really need to go into it. But let me just go over a couple of pros and cons of doing it this way. One pro is like with trigger stops on SCUF controllers and stuff, you see that there's a giant screw on the outside, and that makes a lot of noise and it kind of wears at the controller, so that's never good. And it's probably better if you don't do that. And the thing that's bad about this really is if you're playing other games, you're gonna be out of luck. You're gonna have to take apart your controller every time and take these out, and then when you want to do it, you're gonna have to get your X-Acto knife and your Q-tips and all that stuff. So it might not really be worth it to you guys to do this if you play a lot of games. But if you don't, or if you have like an extra controller or something, you just want to try it out, it's great. Another thing, at least for Black Ops 2 in theater mode, you're not going to be able to fast forward in videos. I don't know how much that's going to affect you. I know personally it doesn't really bother me that much, but I was trying to fast forward a gameplay actually of me using these trigger stops, and it's just like, oh my gosh, you can go like 0.6 speed because that's where the trigger, that's how far the trigger goes down to. So you cannot fast forward it. You can go at normal speed or you can go in slow mo, and that just sort of bothered me, but it doesn't matter. So I've whittled this down. Let me just keep working a little bit more actually. Okay, there. You guys can see I've whittled this down to basically, I wonder if I have a ruler. Well, it's basically like half to a third. Like I'm gonna put this next to like a full one. Were you guys oh boy. Yeah, I'm recording this on the Apple earphones also, so the audio is gonna be pretty bad, I just know. But that's about how small. This is the one that I've whittled. And then you're gonna want to cut it, so you guys can see I only did like that much, like a fingernail's length, maybe half fingernail length. So you're just gonna want to cut this little piece off, the thin part. And where did it fly off to? Here it is. So now you're gonna want to glue it. Alright, so on the controller, you see there's this little there's this little stub, right? This little thing, it's like a hook. So you're gonna want to get, like you guys can see here, you're keeping the hook always at this level here. So you're pushing, and the hook is always there. So here we're gonna want to basically keep it down there the whole time. So the way and that'll keep the trigger pushed down about this much constantly. So basically you just have to go like that, start shooting. So we're gonna glue it in, right? Gosh, my hands are so. Here, I'll use the tweezers to show you. We're basically gonna glue it in right there. So right here, and we're just gonna glue it there. And so I'm gonna apply the glue, and you don't want to put too much because you don't want it. You know, obviously you don't want to put too much. I don't think I need to explain that. They do a good job of that in 5th grade usually. So I have my thing, and I'm just using the tweezers just because I've got them. You could do this by hand. It just gets a little messy. I did the first one by hand, and then I was like, hey, you know what? Tweezers would probably be pretty great. So, okay, come on. My glue is just not. I don't understand. Sorry about that. I was just in the middle of recording, and my phone decides, hey, you know what? Let's run out of storage because apparently I had too many videos on my phone. So yeah, I just had to get rid of a couple of those, sadly. So I'm just gonna show the gluing step again. So I'm just applying one layer of glue just to the top of this. And did I? Yeah. Alright, so just a thin layer. Nothing. What the heck? It's coming out like the side. Oh, you guys can't even see that. But it's coming out like the side of the bottle. That's super weird. So, No, I'm gonna go up to my I'm sorry if I'm like stuttering. I'm trying to think of a lot of things at once, and it's not something I'm really used to doing. So we're just gonna stick it in right there. Oh boy, you guys can't even see that. Okay, so let's just show it again. So this is the trigger. We're gonna stick it just right in here, and just leave it, and then take away your tweezers. And the hook, if you do it right, this hook thing should hold it in place while it glues. So you guys should not need to hold. Oh, god damn it! You guys are not gonna need to hold it at all. You just leave this. Don't push the trigger down. Just leave this. Let it dry, and then you're gonna come back and do the rest. So I'm gonna cut the video right here. Just leave it like this. Whoop, like that. Bounced on the analogs. I'm gonna cut the video, and we'll be back in a minute. Hey guys, so I'm back finally. So basically what happened is I tried to get a little bit over ambitious, and I tried to do the second part before this little thing finished drying. Yeah, don't do that. It doesn't really work out too well. So I had to wait like an extra hour to. This glue is taking forever to dry, but it's basically dry now. So I'm gonna keep going with the video because yeah, I've been bored for an hour basically. So we left off with me cutting a Q-tip, or in the failure video, which I'm redoing right now. I basically cut Q-tip into 3 parts that are about this long. Gosh, they fall off, but they're, you know, about an inch maybe. I don't know, how long is that? Maybe like half an inch. It's like a knuckle size basically. So whatever. So you have these 3, and what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be sticking them inside here underneath the trigger bar. But if you stick all 3 in, just plain and simple, just stick them, they won't fit, first of all, and second of all, the controller will not go down low enough to fire. So you need to do some little modifications to the Q-tips to make sure that it works. The first thing we're going to be doing is gluing, actually, the first Q-tip, and we're just going to glue it to the bottom. So put glue on the Q-tip. Here's my glue. I fixed my glue container when I was waiting. It was failing and stuff. So yeah, just sort of apply that, and I think you guys can see better if I put it down there. So you know, I have a pretty generous heaping of glue because this one's actually going on the bottom of the controller, and I just feel like extra glue. And you're gonna want to make sure that this is as close to the trigger as it can be. So you know, you could have it like down here more, or you could have it like that way more, and you're definitely, gosh, it's like dripping. You're definitely gonna want to have it like towards the trigger, at least this first piece. So I'm just gonna stick it on. Yeah, and the 2 triggers are really similar. So you shouldn't have much of a problem. It looks like this is a little too long, so I'm gonna go get some nail clippers, and I will come back, clip that, and then we'll put the other 2 pieces on. But yeah, so I'm gonna just cut the video really quick because I need to run and get those. Actually, wait, I think I have some right here. Yeah, okay, so I do have some. Handy. Just some toe nail clippers, but whatever. So I'm just gonna cut it like right here, because obviously you don't want things hanging off the side of your controller. That's just, you know, not good. So, you know, snip, and it looks like, yep, I pulled it off. So whatever, you know, I'll just snip it. Gosh darn it, snip. Flies off. Yeah, I'm kind of failing. I'm sorry about that, you guys. This is my first video ever on YouTube, and I'm a little, you know, it's hard. First video on YouTube, I think, is pretty hard, and I'm just glad I'm not trying to like commentate over gameplay or something, because that would just be crazy. I don't think I'm cut out for that. But it's okay, because you know, I'm teaching you guys something. You know, not some like T Martin tips and tricks, but you know, something actually sort of useful. So hopefully this on this 4th attempt or 3rd attempt. Gosh. I'm sorry I'm doing this out of the frame. I'm just getting kind of fed up a little, so I'm trying to get this to work. So I'm going to stick it in again. And yeah, just like that. And it's like too slippery for my tweezers even. So I'm just going to do it with my hand. Gosh darn it. I'm going to have to start over, aren't I? No. No. Alright, I just stuck it in, and I know it's not really good, but I'm gonna leave it just for now, so you guys can sort of see that's how it... Gosh darn, this wire. So that's sort of how it looks. Just stuck right there. And then we're gonna take the second Q-tip, and we know that we have to cut it a little now, so I'll do that before I apply the glue and fail. See, look at this. I'm getting smart. I'm learning. So here we go, and we'll just snip it like right there. See, basically you don't want excess, like you don't want things hanging off and getting in the way of you putting your controller back together. So I have this, it's like half a thing now, and I'll apply more glue. Yippee. So glue. Also guys, I'm standing up and doing this, and I originally wanted to sit down and do this, but then I realized that if I sat down I couldn't see my phone screen, or like what's on my phone, so I couldn't really see if what I was recording was in the frame, and so I had to stand up. And so I put this one right on top of the other one, directly on top. You guys can see sort of that it's supposed to be directly on top, and it doesn't matter if this one, the bottom one, slides out a little, because we're going to be fixing that in a second with this third piece. Now with this third piece, you're going to need to whittle it just a tiny bit. What you're going to be doing with the third piece is you're going to be putting it right there to support those other two pieces right there, but it does not fit just plain. So you just need to take it down a little so it fits. So I'm just gonna show this. Let me get this out of the way. So just like I don't even know. I'll put it next to a uncut Q-tip stem. What do you even call these? Like a Q-tip stem? Is that the right terminology? Anyway, cut it a bit more, and let's see. So yeah, it's a little bit more than half. So the diameter or whatever is half of what it used to be. It's like a what do you call that? I don't know what you call it. But it's like the diameter's basically half. I don't know if you guys saw me whittling at all. This is probably going to be a pretty big of a failure video, actually, but I'm not going to keep re-recording this because I think there's just a limited number of times I can actually mess with my Xbox controller before I end up doing something really stupid and destroying it. Like, I have my phone resting... Okay, here we go. I have my phone resting on this huge pile of things just to get it elevated, and one thing is my Xbox battery pack, just because, I'm cool like that. And I was sort of failing. I picked up my phone, and the Xbox battery pack falls right on the controller, like right there, and I'm just like, ouch. So we're not gonna just keep filming, because I like playing Xbox, and Xbox controllers cost a lot, and I would not want to buy a new Xbox controller with the Xbox One coming out in like however soon amount of time it's coming out. So I'm just trying to get rid of all these little fuzzy things. So now this is about half of the diameter of a usual one. So this is it next to an uncut one. They look the same. That's because this uncut one, when you cut them, the scissors kind of pinch the ends. But it's actually, what I'm telling you is actually true. Obviously, because I would not lie. I cannot tell a lie, right? So I don't think I cut this one. Okay, so let me just cut it really quick. I'm really sorry again that I'm doing so much of the work outside the frame that you guys can see. But so this has glue on the flat part, on the flat side. And what we're going to do is jam it right there. So the round side will face away from the controller, and the flat side will face towards the other two Q-tip stems. And you kind of have to, I don't want to say force it, because if you actually have to force it, then you're probably doing it wrong. This is what it looks like at the end, so there's all three. And again, I'm sorry about the quality of my video and the quality of my hands being floating away, abducted by aliens. But I'm going to include some higher quality pictures sprinkled in throughout the video. And so this you're done. You see that it's the trigger is now stopped, and I'm probably going to have to come back and take these down a little, because on the left trigger side it looks like there's some little things, like some little bumps right there that weren't on the right side. So it looks like those raised it up just a tiny bit, because this trigger is like really jammed. Like it will not aim like this. So maybe on the left side you might want to cut the first one smaller, or I don't even know. I'll fix it, and maybe I'll just post in the description or something how I did that. But yeah, that's been the guide, guys, and I will have a video at the end of showing just some gameplay of me playing with it, which obviously I would like it if you guys watched. I think I'm gonna have like a standoff, just like a minute of standoff domination, and then this round of search and destroy that, oh my god, I just completely clutched it. It was like the most exciting, probably like 3 minutes of my Call of Duty career. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys somewhere, I don't know. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention last time I did this is when you stick in this thing, you see there's a little bit of space between the trigger, this little bar here. I need something more precise to point with. There's a difference between this bar here and this, and you don't want your little Q-tip part to be touching this bar. You want it to be under this one, but not like touching this, just because when you're hammering the trigger, if you're constantly rubbing up against it, that'll just loosen the glue and possibly make your trigger stick a little. So just make sure you're aware of that. This hasn't really dried yet, but I'm just gonna keep going with the rest of the video because I can't just sit here and do nothing. Okay, so the next part, we're gonna take another cute, stick this down. Alright, there's the white bar. You're gonna want to go all the way across. So you know how I told you with the other one, you don't want to cross that one with the trigger? With this, you want to go all the way across, like all the way. See how that's sticking out the other end? That's what you want. And you want this to be flush up, right as close to the trigger as possible. So, like that, and then just sort of push it down, I guess, on the other side. Like, make sure it's, gosh darn. Alright, I just ruined this whole thing. But, yeah, okay, I'm gonna just... Hey guys, Philierizer here. This is just some search and destroy gameplay. It was actually pretty exciting when I got this. And both the gameplays you're going to be watching are without trigger stops. These were just, I put in the hair trigger, and I was like, let me just play for a bit and see how it goes. And this is just sort of some things that came out of it. And the trigger stops just make it so I can shoot it that much faster. So that's that. And for the left trigger, I mentioned I was going to fix it and then mention it. Basically what I ended up doing with that is just taking out the hair trigger. I don't know, it was not working for me, having a hair trigger, as I destroyed these two guys, and then run away like a little baby. But yeah, the hair trigger just was not working for me at all. And I just took it out. I still have the trigger stops in just so the triggers feel a bit more symmetrical. I don't know how much it actually helps me to have a trigger stop on the left trigger. Really, when I first did this, I didn't even intend to do the left trigger. The only reason I ended up actually doing it is to show you guys how to. So you might just want to only do your right trigger. Now, something else that I wanted to mention, if you don't understand what you're actually doing, if you don't understand the effect of, like, which Q-tip stem being placed where is actually doing, like, what? Okay, that was weirdly worded, but I think you guys understand. Please don't try to just blindly follow this guide. It won't work out for you. Or maybe it will, but there's a high chance it won't. And maybe just the ghetto solution thing is not for you. Get a scuff, you know, find a different guide on YouTube of how a different way to do this. And we're just going to transition into some standoff gameplay here. But yeah, if you don't understand, don't do it. And another thing is, you are probably going to fail. Once or twice, you will fail. You'll make something too thin, too thick, you'll glue it wrong, it'll fall out. And that's fine, just do it again. But if you don't understand and you fail, then I'm just like, nothing will help you. There's no help for you. So don't try that. You guys can send me messages on YouTube. I will respond to those as much as I can. And yeah, just let me know how it goes. Let me know as this guy camps in a corner and gets me. So just let me know how it goes. And one other thing that I wanted to mention is in other games, you are going to have to take apart your controller and take these out if you want to actually play those games. Just because, like in Halo, the triggers are set to a different sensitivity. Obviously, in like a racing game where you need the full sensitivity of the trigger, it's just not going to work. So this really should just be like a Call of Duty controller that you're changing. And I just wanted to thank everyone once again for watching and supporting my very, very pathetic YouTube career. Yeah, I'm not like asking you guys to subscribe or anything, but if you like the video, I wouldn't not mind if you like it. I would love to hit 5 likes. Thanks for watching, guys.